You want her, and she wants you. No one ever is to blame. Wah, wah, wah. Hoka hey, BOOZHOO, and welcome back to BOOZHOO, NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about OJIBWE language and culture. And today's Ojibwe word of the day, Dunu Muwan. Dunu means bull. Dunu. And Muwan is what the bull leaves on the ground after supper. Dunu Muwan. Bull poop. And, well, I guess I'm just calling Dunu Muwan on on the so-called election. It's they jumped the shark. For you kids who are young, like as opposed to you kids who are old, that term "jump the shark" refers to a show called Happy Days, and the main character was a guy called the Fonz, and he'd always say, "Hey, hey, the Fonz," and he was like a cool guy. And it was set in like the 50s, I think, or the 60s. Anyway, he was a greaser. And he was like super cool. He could make a jukebox start just by smacking it, you know. And everybody loved Happy Days. But the show went on too long. And eventually, they had the Fonz doing ridiculous stuff. And one day, there was an episode where the Fonz, for some reason, was out. He had the only way he could save the day was they were out water skiing, and there was a shark, and he's water skiing in a leather jacket for some reason. And to save the day, he's got to jump the shark in water skis. And everybody was like, "Okay, I'm done. This show is stupid." That's kind of how I feel about politics. Did you watch the debates last night? I couldn't even hang with it. You know, there was a time when we used to debate about issues. They'd be like, "Hey, is it okay to have an abortion? You know, is it murder or is it just a procedure to get rid of something?" And, you know, does a person have a right to own a gun and defend himself? Is it okay for people to transition their children to a different gender? You know, what is gender? What, you know, what should the schools be teaching? You know, things that we think the politicians will do. But now it's totally like all-star wrestling. And I used to like all-star wrestling. I'd watch that old Hulk Hogan. "Listen here, brother." You know, Hulk Hogan and Rock and Roll Buck Zumhoff, the Claw Master. Claw Master would just grab you by the head. He would, and it was fun. Um, and believe it or not, there was a time, you know, when you're a sixth grader, you'd have these debates. Is it real? And or is it fake? And eventually everybody kind of went, "Okay, yeah, it's fake. It's just for fun." But I'm starting to believe that the politics, the news, the is everything we're being exposed to is like a reality TV show. And let's face it, Donald Trump was a reality TV actor. And he played the character of Donald Trump. And I never actually saw the show, but he would always say, "You're fired. You're fired." And people are like, oh yeah, I'm going to tune in and watch that guy fire people. It's funny. But now I'm starting to think, you know what? I think even Joe Biden is he's like the Kardashians. You know, the whole debate was just about who's a bigger scumbag. You know, people aren't even voting on issues. They're like, oh, well, he's corrupt. Oh, no, you can't believe that. That's fake news. Oh, you know, his son did this horrible stuff. And, you know, it just comes out in the news just at perfect times. And one week it's the Democratic Party that's clearly corrupt. And the next week it'll be the Republicans and they're clearly corrupt. And we're being sold like the story. We get to watch it. So yeah, I mean, Donald Trump, he flies into Bemidji this year. And I ran down there just to watch the plane go down the street. And the plane came in, Air Force One. And it didn't come in the normal way that planes come in this town. It came down right in the middle of town so everybody could see it. And, you know, people from all over the state came to listen to him. And he put on a good show, you know. Everybody left feeling happy, thinking, oh, this guy's great. But, you know, like you would a character in a movie. And just like a character in a movie, sometimes he's portrayed as a villain, you know. And they have gotten everybody all riled up. You know, the first Women's March, you know, was really a response to a news story about Donald Trump saying some nasty stuff on a bus that, you know, got leaked. And so, you know, but nobody talks about, you know, the actual issues, you know. And I'm starting to believe that we're all being played. It doesn't matter who wins or loses. They're actors, you know. Nobody could be, like, I think Joe Biden jumped the shark. Where like maybe, oh, you know, he looks like your classic politician, you know. You speak in sound bites, you dress a certain way. But then these, you know, the news stories come out and I don't know. I just feel like it's all scripted. I don't trust any of it. And I don't know. I'm just out. I don't want to play anymore. You know, I used to be really liberal. I used to be a social justice warrior. I used to want to fight racism and homophobia and sexism. And then I got older. And then I started to have more traditional values. I started to be more family values oriented. So, you know what, we gotta help the family. You know, we got to teach the kids good values so that they can grow up in a good way, and that, you know, you're not creating the same problems, making the same mistakes as your parents made. But now I think, you know what, they're just messing with their minds. They're not going to do anything. I don't know. Hillary Clinton never got arrested. You know, Donald Trump never built a wall in Mexico or, you know, on the border. I mean, yeah, they can tell you stories, but, you know, whatever. He had 4 years. So, how about just not, maybe I don't want a leader. I mean, that's not even an option. But I don't care. I just don't care. Does that sound negative? Probably. Dunu Muan. Dunu Muan. Oh, that's a bunch of Dunu Muan. La la la. Anyway, how are you guys doing? Who are you going to vote for? I mean, do you really, if you're going to vote for Joe Biden? Are you like, oh, he's a stand-up guy. I really like him. He's going to fix the family. He's going to fix the problems of the country. We're going to go back to a time, whatever. Or if you vote for Donald Trump, we're going to make America great again. Say, oh, yeah, real great. What year exactly do you think? I mean, unless you're going to make it 1985 and make me 17 again, then, you don't have the ability. Nobody does. I don't know. Anyway, I was just sitting around and thought I would just drop in, say BOOZHOO, and I don't know. I'm probably going to trigger some people, because that's the other thing. Part of this whole game is to get people. It's really what's behind it all is trying to get us to hate each other based on whatever. I voted. Oh, if you don't vote, you don't got the right to complain. I think it was George Carlin said, no, you got that just backwards. If you vote, you got no right to complain because, you're responsible. You did this. The only people who should be able to complain are the ones who didn't vote, didn't have anything to do with it. I don't know. La, la, la. I don't even know who my audience is anymore. Isn't this supposed to be a show for kids? Hello, kids. The Ojibwe word for president, Ogama. Ogama is like the chief or the leader. Ogama. And that is today's Ojibwe word of the day. I don't know. I don't feel any better getting that off my chest. Why did I even say that? Oh well. So yeah, I hope you're doing well. Vote away if you like. I mean, who am I to tell you what to do? I guess that's another point. I mean, just shut up already. Quit telling me what to think. I'm trying to burp. And you have been watching BOOZHOO, NANABOOZHOO, the podcast all about Ojibwe language and half-baked political ideas. You can choose a ready guide in some celestial voice. If you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. I choose free will. And I choose not to decide. I don't think I'm going to vote at all. So yeah. And with that, I'm just going to say miigwech ganawabieg. Special miigwech to the Patreon supporters of this show. I don't get to mention it enough, but you guys are in my heart. I really appreciate that you support the show like you do. And to everybody who's sent me a little junia money, junia on PayPal, I want to say chi miigwech. And to the wonderful people who have ordered the books from Michael Lyons, he wanted me to tell you, miigwech, you made his childhood dreams come true by buying his books. And who else should I thank? I'd like to thank Kitchi Manado for my health and for providing this thing. For as much as I hate the internet and Facebook and YouTube, frankly, I'm addicted to it. I'm really grateful. Ni miigwech wendam. I am grateful to you. So miigwech ganawabieg. Thank you for watching. BOOZHOO, NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I'm NANABOOZHOO, and I will see you again. Gigawabamin, Minowa, Hawa. What?